Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tailgate Talk with your host, Isaac Michael. And
Brock Brooks.
how are you doing today, Brock?
I'm doing pretty good. What about you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk about the NFL. So, we're going to talk about the NFL awards today. We're just going to get into it and talk about the MVP. My MVP is Dak Prescott.
You know, there's a lot of MVP selections you go for. You go with the new rookie, C.J. Stroud. There hasn't been a rookie MVP since Jim Brown back in like 1952.
Jeez.
I got Dak for MVP, even though he gets a lot of hate. He's still my guy.
I think Dak Prescott is the MVP right now. At one point, it was like Myles Garrett. There wasn't even a good quarterback to choose, or Tyreek Hill. But I think that Tyreek Hill is like second. And I think that Dak Prescott is the best because the Cowboys could be the best team in football. And whenever the quarterback is playing well on a really good team, then it's always usually that.
Yeah, I don't even have Tyreek on my MVP list because I feel like it says most valuable player, and like even if Tyreek's probably the best player in the NFL, but he's not the most valuable player. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to the Offensive Player of the Year now. And I feel like everyone already knows this, but I chose Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, same here. I chose Tyreek Hill because, I mean, it's unanimous.
He's on pace for like 2,000 yards right now, and he played like half a game against the Titans. So
isn't that the record? Doesn't Megatron own the record right now?
I don't know. I don't think anybody has ever gotten 2,000. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that he's on pace for 2,000, and he missed half a game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My Defensive Player of the Year is Myles Garrett.
Yeah, see, this might be a little biased, but my Defensive Player of the Year is Max Crosby.
Ooh, why'd you choose Max Crosby?
He is at a monster season this year, and he's definitely a contender for Defensive Player of the Year.
Max Crosby is very good, but I think that Myles Garrett is basically their whole team right now. Their defense is the reason why they're good, but I mean, you could say Joe Flacco's the answer.
Yeah, man, who knows? But I chose Max Crosby because Raiders' defense sucks, man, and Max Crosby brings the energy and the swag every single game. So
He does that you guys need badly.
yeah.
You can say your Offensive Rookie of the Year first.
All right. My Offensive Rookie of the Year is obviously C.J. Stroud.
That is what I went with too.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I mean, he's having a monster season. He could be a contender for MVP, but I think Dak has that spot.
I think that if their record was better, he would probably be the MVP. But I think C.J. Stroud is the unanimous Offensive Rookie of the Year. And, I mean, at one point it was Puka Nacua.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, he's definitely second on my list. I mean, he's having a monster season.
Yeah. So we'll talk about Defensive Rookie of the Year. You can say yours first again.
I mean, mine right now, it's until something different happens or somebody gets injured or something like that. Devon Witherspoon or Jalen Carter is mine. I mean, they're both, if you put their stats side by side, they're having almost the exact same stats.
I said Jalen Carter because I saw a stat that said, like, he has less snaps than Aaron Donald but more QB pressures. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I watch an Eagles game, his name's always getting called for really good things. So I just feel like he's the Defensive Rookie of the Year this year, and he could have honestly gotten number one to Chicago, which he should have, but I'm biased. So.
Do you know Devon Witherspoon and Jalen Carter have the same amount of sacks?
They have the same amount of sacks?
Yes.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
What was it, like 4 or 5?
Yeah, I think it's 4 or 5, something
Dude.
like that, or 4.5.
That's crazy, but I feel like they have so much, like, the Eagles have so much good edge rushing that Jalen Carter's more of a run stopper. Like, he's not really Aaron Donald, like, sack the quarterback, because he's big.
Yeah.
My Coach of the Year, I said Steven Stefanski, the Cleveland Browns head coach. I think they had like 4 quarterbacks win a game this year. Deshaun Watson, P.J. Walker, DTR, and Joe Flacco. Yeah, all 4 of those quarterbacks won a game this year. That's crazy. And they lost Nick Chubb, their best offensive player. So that's why I chose Steven Stefanski.
Yeah, I mean, my Coach of the Year is going to be easily the Texans coach. I mean, just from a few years ago, they were like the most hated franchise in the NFL for trading away DeAndre Hopkins and for basically nothing. And now they've made it back, and they had a great draft with C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell. And their number 1 wide receiver, John Mechie, just passed over 1,000 yards.
He did?
Yep.
1,000 yards, John Mechie.
Yep.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. They're having a really good season. They're looking pretty solid on defense, and Will Anderson is also in that contestant for like Defensive Player of the Year.
Also, our last award here, Comeback Player of the Year. This is, everybody knows this has to go to DeMar Hamlin. I think he's played 1 game, but
he died.
He died on the football field, so it has to give it to him. I mean, good for him though for coming back. I feel like that'd be super scary.
Yeah, I mean, T. Higgins has to be scared playing against him
I would feel
again.
so bad if I was T. Higgins.
Yeah, man. He died on the field, so it's probably his award. I mean, that's as good as you're gonna do, man.
And continuing our episode 1, we're going to talk about the AFC and NFC conference championship games. Brock, you can get us started.
I mean, there's some really good teams in the AFC and NFC, but so my number 1 team in the AFC is going to be the Ravens. I mean, they're 10-3 and they're on a hot streak. Their Week 15 matchup is against the Jaguars, who are currently 8-5. So that's gonna be an interesting game to watch.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think that the Ravens do make the AFC Championship game. And who do you think the Ravens will play?
I mean, my 2 teams right now has to be either the Chiefs or the. I got Chiefs or Dolphins or Chiefs or. Actually, I'm gonna go Chiefs or Bills for AFC Championship.
That's very good. I'm gonna surprise a lot of people here, and I'm gonna say as the 5 seed, the Browns will find a way to keep winning, and they'll stay at the 5 seed. So I think that they would play. Who would they play in the first round of the playoffs? Would they play?
They play the Steelers, I think.
Would they play the 4 seed? Or would they play the no?
Yeah, no, they play the Steelers.
Steelers?
Yeah, that's because Steelers would be 6 seed right now.
Okay, so I think that they would beat the Steelers,
Yeah.
and they would have. Then they would have to play the Ravens
Wouldn't they have to play the Chiefs though?
or
next?
the Jags. They would have to play the Force. No,
It's gonna be a hard matchup.
I was gonna pick the Browns, but they're gonna have to beat either the Ravens, or I think they can beat the Chiefs, but they would have to either beat the Ravens at some point before the AFC Championship game, and I don't think they can do that. So I'm gonna say AFC Championship game. I don't know, because the Jaguars looked bad.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Ravens Bengals AFC Championship game.
Okay. Good pick.
It's a surprise.
Wait, Bengals with the backup quarterback with Joe Burrow out?
Yeah, Jake Browning is a dog,
Yeah, but they're 7-6.
and if they win out, they can go 10-6.
You got Jake Browning over Patrick Mahomes or Tua Tagovailoa.
I do, because Jake Browning he looks to his right, he's Jamar Chase, left T Higgins, and Mahomes sees Kadarius Toney and freaking MVS.
What about Tua? He has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Tyreek Hill is not as good as Patrick Mahomes or Jake Browning.
But is Tua?
I don't know.
Tua is definitely better than Jake Browning.
I just don't think they're a good enough football team. Like, I don't know. It's just they've never been good enough.
Yeah.
Like, they're the 2 seed, so they would play the Browns. They would host the Browns. That's who they would host right now, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
If Browns go against
Right?
Dolphins, I got Dolphins all day.
If Browns and the Dolphins play,
No,
I'm taking...
It'd be Steelers and Browns. Browns would host the Steelers.
No, the Browns don't get to host a game. They're not a top 4 team.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to win your division to host a playoff game.
Oh, well, then Browns would probably host Jaguars probably host Browns then. Yeah, because Ravens would have bye, Dolphins play Chiefs, Jaguars play Browns.
Okay, then I would still take the Browns over the Jaguars.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think that'd be a really good game. I mean, Joe Flacco might be him. It really depends.
He threw the ball 45 times in his last game.
I mean, you ever heard of the iron crotch?
No.
Flacco?
No.
Fontaine Perfect got a concussion from hitting his head
For real?
into
What?
Joe Flacco's crotch, and Joe Flacco didn't miss a snap.
That's crazy. All right, let's talk about the NFC now. I'll say my first championship team, and I have the 49ers. They play the Cardinals next, so they could sit all those starters and they'd still win.
Yeah.
That's my first championship team in the NFC. Who's yours?
I mean, I'm really a tie right now between the Cowboys and 49ers because, I mean, when these two faced off in the regular season, the 49ers absolutely destroyed the Cowboys. Yeah. But did the 49ers beat the Eagles?
49ers blew out the Eagles.
Oh.
At Philadelphia, too, so...
Rough. Yeah, I mean, I got 49ers. I mean, definitely Cowboys can easily, if I see something from them, they could easily get into that spot. But right now in the championship, it's going to be Cowboys and 49ers.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with too. Cowboys, 49ers. But the Cowboys do have to play the Bills next. Not good. And the Eagles do play the Seahawks. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they could still lose that game, but I would take the Eagles in that one to win. So we both agree on Cowboys, 49ers.
Oh yeah. Something that's crazy is the Buccaneers are 6-7 in our first NFC South.
So who do you think wins the NFC Championship game?
I mean, a lot of things go into it, like injuries go into it, but I'm gonna say with the most stacked out roster and with a great field manager in Brock Purdy, I feel like the 49ers are gonna take it home.
They go to the Super Bowl. They get there.
Yeah, I said they go.
I think that this is the best chance for the Cowboys to upset because they're the 2 seed right now and they're going to be on opposite sides of the 49ers. So they wouldn't have to play them in the divisional round. So that means I'm going to take the Cowboys and Dak Prescott is going to add to his MVP season. In the AFC, who do you have winning? Who did you have? You had the Ravens and
Bills.
Ravens and Bills.
Or Ravens and Chiefs, one of them. But I got Ravens winning it all. I'm saying we're going back to the old days. It's like Joe Flacco versus Colin Kaepernick.
I'm going to take the Ravens to beat the Bengals. Like I said, the Bengals go on a winning streak. They have the Vikings. I think they can beat the Vikings, but I think if they lose to the Vikings, then they're out. Or they won't make the AFC Championship game. They're still in the playoffs, but they're out of the championship game.
You know what a really great story would be is Joe Flacco with the Browns comes back and plays his old team, 49ers, and his old rival.
Who do you
49ers.
think will win? You said the Ravens Super Bowl appearance. I will take the Ravens over the Bengals.
Yeah.
So Ravens, Cowboys for me. For you, it is Ravens, 49ers. You think Brock Purdy wins?
I mean, that's a close game. Lamar Jackson he's a great quarterback. He's not just an athlete. He's a great arm. So I think with the ability to do with his legs, and I don't know how good the 49ers defense can contain him because I know Nick Bosa, he's a really good edge rusher, but I don't know how he would do against Lamar Jackson.
So you think the Niners win? Or you think the Ravens win?
Yeah, I have Ravens winning it.
I'll take my Super Bowl Ravens Cowboys. I'm going to buy into the Cowboys stock, and I'm going to say Cowboys win the Super Bowl this year. They're hot. CeeDee Lamb is probably one of the best receivers in football. And Dak Prescott just shuts up the haters.
They haven't won in like 20 years, though.
Hey, it's our year.
Hey.
Not even a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll conclude episode 1. We'll see you guys on episode 2.
All right, see ya.
Welcome back to episode 2 of Tailgate Talk with your host, Isaac Michael, and
Brock Brooks.
we have a guest today.
Chris Huffman.
Welcome.
How you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing good.
All right, cool. So we're going to be re-ranking the 2023 NFL draft. I mean, there's been a lot of good players come out of this draft so far. I mean, they all have a lot of bright futures, and there's obviously some sleepers in here. So we're going to start off with who is our number 1 pick, guys. Isaac, you can start us off.
I would take C.J. Stroud here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
what do you got, Chris?
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I got C.J. Stroud on my list, too. I mean, he is a crazy player. He's been doing so much for his team, who was mediocre last year. Now they're looking pretty solid. So
Mediocre is a generous term.
yeah, right. All right, number 2 pick. Who do we got?
I will take. Assuming this pick belongs to the Texans, they don't get C.J. Stroud. I would take Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Texans right here, if I'm having a redraft, honestly, yeah, I
think Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young falls a little bit, and they do take Anthony Richardson. What do you think, Chris?
I still think they might take Bryce Young, because, who is doing anything on the Panthers?
Yeah.
I think if C.J. Stroud was on the Panthers, he'd be doing just as bad as Bryce is right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd honestly probably go Bryce Young, too. I feel like he still has a lot to show. Just if he had some weapons around him, he can do pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 3. What do you got, Isaac?
Honestly, Texans, they don't take Will Anderson, and they take Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter is probably one of the better defensive players in this draft. And 2 of the top picks fall a little bit.
Yeah. I say that the Texans, they feel like they need help in their secondary, and they go and get themselves Devon Witherspoon because he's been having a monster year.
Devon Witherspoon is very good. Chris?
I feel like I'd take Jalen Carter too. He's just been so valuable for the Eagles. That was a steal at number 9.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, number 4, going to the Colts.
The Colts need a quarterback bad.
Mm-hmm.
They just saw the 2 best quarterbacks go off the board, so they're going to take Bryce Young. They have to. And they have a better offensive line than the Panthers, so they can protect him a little bit more.
I say the Colts stick to their guns, and they go with Anthony Richardson again at number 4.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, Anthony Richardson just got taken, so
Well,
Not for our draft.
yeah.
he is on the Texans. In this world.
In your world.
Who did you pick the Texans take?
We picked Bryce Young.
Oh, you picked Bryce Young. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
All right, number 5 going to the Seahawks. Who do we got?
They stay Devin Witherspoon in my world because Devin Witherspoon is still on the board.
Yeah, I say they go at number 5. They just go and get Jalen Carter. I mean, he would be a monster.
Yeah,
on the Seahawks.
good pick.
I
Chris?
agree with Isaac. I think they stay with Devon Witherspoon.
Okay.
Number 6, Paris Johnson
Yeah.
was the original pick.
He was a monster at Ohio State in high school.
And I think they stick with it just because they don't really. I mean, they could go Will Anderson here, but they need to protect potentially Caleb Williams.
I say they don't do any of that. I say for Cardinals, I mean, they're going Puka Nacua. I mean, he's a monster.
Number 6?
Yes,
Wow.
He's the best wide receiver in the 2023 NFL draft.
Jeez, Brock. Okay.
Insane.
Chris, what do you have to say about that?
I don't know if I agree with that, but I think they still take Paris Johnson Jr. I don't know how he's doing, but it does take.
He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, it usually takes a little bit to develop offensive tackles.
So with the Raiders' 7th overall pick, I think they go and get Christian Gonzalez, who was playing very well for the Patriots until he got hurt. He's done for the year. But the Raiders need a cornerback. I mean, the only cornerback I can think of is Marcus Peters, but I'm pretty sure they cut him. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, at number 7, I think the Raiders, I agree with you. I think they're going to go pick up Christian Gonzalez to really help out that defense who is lacking in anything but Max Crosby.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you guys. I was kind of, on draft day, I was kind of confused on how Gonzalez fell that far. So
Yeah, I agree.
Number 8, Atlanta. I think that they stay Bijan. There's no point for them not to.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bijan is just such a flexible player
Mhm.
that they just keep him.
So we all agree with Bijan Robinson.
yeah.
So number 9.
Eagles.
The Jalen Carter is not here in whatever world we're in.
Oh,
And Will Anderson is still
Yeah,
available.
he's still on the
So
board.
they're going to go Will Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, Eagles with Will Anderson should be just as nice. So, yeah, I'm going Will Anderson for Eagles at number 9.
Chris, you agree?
Yep.
Okay. Bears, Darnell Wright. Honestly,
This number 10 pick is really controversial for the Bears. Last time that number 10 pick didn't go too well.
whatever. Darnell Wright. We could say Darnell Wright, but
But what position does Darnell Wright even play?
right tackle.
So I'm guessing he's not
been
that
doing pretty good. He led the league in like PFF, like Pro Football Focus.
Yeah.
Like he led the league in whatever like advanced that is for multiple weeks. So I think we stay Darnell Wright, just build around Justin Fields a little bit more.
For number 10 for the Bears, I say they're going to go ahead and pick up Paris Johnson Jr. I mean, he's been a monster for the Cardinals. He's huge, and he's such a physical player.
Who did you have the Cardinals taking?
I kind of forgot, to be honest.
I thought.
Didn't we all agree on Paris Johnson?
Wait,
Jr.?
no, he had
No.
Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
Oh, you had Puka Nacua,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, Puka Nacua. I mean, go check out the guy's stats. I mean, I think he just passed over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he probably did.
Yeah, I mean, he's having like 100 yards each game.
So, Chris, who do you have the Bears taking?
I still think they go with Darnell Wright. I mean, they really needed offensive help, so I mean, they got him.
You guys still have Puka Nacua not even on your guys' board yet?
No, he's still on my draft board. He's not
Yeah.
off. He is not on a team right now.
Wow, that is
So,
insane.
number 11, the Titans. Honestly, I think that they go Tank Dell here, because they can get Will Levis, because no one's gonna take him in the first round, so they can get Will Levis in the second round like they did in real life, and they can just keep building around Will Levis.
Well, I feel like if everybody after the season knows like the redraft value, I mean, Titans are going to be high on Will Levis. So I'm going Will Levis at number 11 because everybody's knows how talented
Yeah.
Levis is.
Yeah.
Chris,
I think the Titans go Puka Nacua here.
Nice. Good pick.
Yeah. They needed wide receiver too. I think him and Will Levis would be a great duo.
Yeah. Good pick.
number 12, Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't know how I feel about it,
They aren't really using him that much this season at all.
but I mean, I think that they stay with it because they have like towards the later half of the year. So I think that they stay with it because they know that David Montgomery won't be there for much longer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Nolan Smith right here at number 12. Because Nolan Smith has just been such a good game wrecker for the Eagles and such a talented player. I'm going Nolan Smith.
Good pick.
Yeah, I think they stay with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm.
Got to develop him, you know.
Yeah. Number 13, the Packers.
I don't think they go Luke Van Ness. I think here they do end up taking one of those receivers, and it's not going to be Quentin Johnson. It'll be Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I mean, for the Packers, I mean, they've been known not to pick wide receivers, so I don't think they're going to go with wide receiver here in the first round.
But they have to, so it's my draft.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think the Packers go ahead and pick up who? I'd say the Packers go ahead and pick up Jordan Addison, actually. I feel like they come to their senses, and they go finally draft a wide receiver in the first round.
I was also thinking Zay Flowers because, you know, Lucas Van Ness, he's just... I don't know if he's doing good this season. Is he doing good?
I think he's just mediocre. I think he's
Pretty
just getting,
mid.
like, rotational
Yeah, That's
minutes.
what I was thinking. Zay Flowers has been having a pretty good year at the Ravens.
Yeah. All right, number 14, Steelers, Broderick Jones. He is an offensive tackle.
I don't think he's been doing that good.
I mean, I think he's just like, he hasn't been doing crazy. I don't think he's starting though. I think he's just kind of there.
So Peter Skoronski is still on my board, so the Steelers will take him because I did not have the Titans taking Peter Skoronski. I had them taking. Who did I have them taking? Oh, I had them taking Tank Dell.
See, I think the Steelers, they need a good wider. Actually, no. They pick up. I'm gonna go with Brian Breesy. He's been doing pretty good for the Steelers, and I say they pick him up at number 14.
He's the same.
What?
Did you say good for the Steelers?
I meant Saint.
Yeah.
I meant, yeah.
So Jets, I think they stay Will McDonald. Yeah, he's been pretty good so far.
Will McDonald, he has.
I've seen him a couple times on NFL.
I'm
Red
saying,
Zone.
I think Jets. I mean, they've had a crazy offseason picking up Aaron Rodgers, stuff like that, and they thought they had a lot of help with wide receiver. But they recently traded me Cole Hardman. Alan Lazard has not been that good.
Well, Hardman doesn't really do much or anything.
I mean, Alan Lazard isn't good. So I'm gonna go. They go ahead and pick up Jordan Addison.
You already said someone taking Jordan Addison.
No, I said Zay Flowers.
No, I'm pretty sure you
I
said.
said Zay Flowers.
I'm pretty
You
sure
said Jordan Addison.
Well, then I'm picking Zay Flowers.
Chris?
This is kind of tough because, you know, the rookies, it's just so early for them. I think they stay Will McDonald, though.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So now we got. So they picked him number 16, the Commanders. Emmanuel
Commanders.
Forbes.
They took Emmanuel Forbes, the cornerback. I don't really think he's doing much of anything.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think he's still starting.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a first round pick. They kind of have to. They don't want to
Yeah.
waste it. So I think that they take Dante Banks. He's been a little bit better that I've seen so far. So I think that they take Dante Banks.
For mine, number 16 for the Commanders, I think they pick up Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think if he wasn't behind so many great wide receivers, he'd be doing a lot more for the Seahawks. So I feel like he could be very valuable to the Commanders.
Mm-hmm. Oh shoot. Oh. Okay, so I think they might go pick up Dalton Kincaid. He's been pretty decent with the Bills,
Yeah.
and I think if the Commanders had a decent tight end, that could bolster their offense a little bit more.
Yeah. All right, number 17, the Patriots. They originally picked Christian Gonzalez, but he's already off our board.
He's not there anymore. They take Jack Campbell, the linebacker. Detroit actually took him, a pick after them. So
Yeah. Right here, I think the hold on, let me find what's his name again. I think they pick an offensive lineman, and I think they pick. Hold on, let me find him real quick. I forgot his name, but he's a funny looking dude. I think he got picked in the second round originally. I know the Bucks picked him. He has like no
Elijah Cansey?
Cody Mock.
Oh.
Yeah, I think right here they really need some help on the offensive line as a Patriot, and so I think they're going to go ahead and go Cody Mock, who has been a great player for the Bucks.
Who do you think, Chris?
The Patriots, Mac Jones is kind of trash. I think they might take Will Levis in this scenario.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a team can still take Will Levis from you.
Yeah, so the Patriots, Mac Jones is not very good. And
Yeah.
I think if they had Will Levis, they might be a little bit better this season.
Number 18, Lions. They originally picked Jack Campbell. I actually have no clue how Jack Campbell is doing.
Man, pretty average. So I think that the Lions will take Tyreek Stevenson, second round corner. He went to the Chicago Bears. Pretty biased,
Yeah.
but he's a good cornerback, so that's why I have them taking.
I think for the Lions, I feel like Tyree Wilson is off my board. I mean, he's such a good college
Oh,
player.
someone can still take Tyree Wilson.
Yeah, I got Tyree Wilson going off my board. I mean, he's still so worthy to other teams, and I think it would be a really good fit for him.
Okay, so I think Detroit might stay with Jack Campbell here. They can develop him. I think he might be good in the future. He's got potential.
It's a good pick, Chris.
Yeah.
So
Let's go to number 20, and then we'll stop it. Number 19, Bucks. I got Bucks taking Peter Skronsky. Actually, I got them taking Jabir Gibbs. They need a running back, so.
I think that they take Tyree Wilson. He is off my board, finally.
Who do you got for the Bucks?
I think they could go Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Good pick.
I think him and Mike Evans could be a monster receiving duo.
Yeah. Seahawks at number 20 again. I got them taking Peter Skronsky because, I mean, they need help with the O-line, and so.
Our last pick that we have time for. And Jordan Addison is still on my board, and that's who they go because they need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you for your last pick?
I agree with Isaac there. Jordan Addison's been pretty good this season.
Nice.
Jigba's off the board, so.
Well, that wraps up Tailgate Talks. I mean, thank you for being here, Chris. You're a great guest.
Thank you.
And we'll see y'all next time.